Hey guys, and welcome to this week's webinar. So it's a little bit of a shorter one. I've said that a few times, I know, and I can get carried away, but it's kind of a bit of a check-in one. It's a bit of me talking directly to you guys, to everyone on the online programming, and just to kind of, number one, give you that pat on the back. Number two, re-motivate you a little bit, because motivation, you know, as much as we don't rely on it, it can come from people like myself in terms of being your coach, but also just to remind you of a few things and a few webinars that might be worthwhile looking back over the next coming weeks, just to make sure that we navigate December as well as possible. Now, in saying it, navigating December, straight away, obviously the webinar on December itself, which I think was 3 or 4, will definitely be worth watching, and I'm going to relink that as I send this one out today as well. So ironing out what your days are going to be through Christmas, when you're going to track, when you're not going to track, and how you're going to just approach your own festivities. But the thing that I wanted to say straight away is I want to highlight something that is a huge positive for each and every single one of you at the moment, and that is that the vast majority of the public will now literally be telling themselves, I'll wait until January. I'll do this in January. I'll sign up in January. I'll change my eating habits in January. I'll start walking more in January. I'll increase my steps in January. You see where I'm going with this, okay? So many people, millions of people, will be putting that self-limiting dialogue through their brain every single day now and justifying the actions that they take, or the lack of action that they take through December, because it's okay, because they'll change it in January, because January will be when they're motivated. Now, what I want you guys to realise is you're already miles ahead, but in December itself, we're going to stay on track and we're going to focus on taking imperfect action, okay? So making sure that if days come up where perhaps we've got winter colds, we're feeling unwell, there's days that we can't get into the gym, perhaps the gym's snowed shut, whatever's going on, it doesn't throw a massive curveball, it doesn't throw us completely off plan, okay? Gyms, for those of you that use gyms, have reopened. For those of you that train at home, you've got your own kit at home, whether that's your own kit that you bought or kit that you're borrowing from me. You've still got access to me as a PT for some of you in terms of delivering your sessions, okay? There is no reason that December needs to be that month that blows us right off course, because you're already 10 steps ahead, because you're already disciplined, you've already built habits, and you've already changed your lifestyle, whether it's in the last 6 to 8 weeks or the previous 8 weeks before that, okay? You're all already in a much, much stronger place. And what happens when January comes around for each of you is you can go, there's that extra January motivation that is pretty natural, happens with most, and that is going to be like your topper. That's going to be the top of your cake, because you've already built layers of motivation and discipline and hard work and habits underneath that you've stuck with through December. So that's kind of all I really wanted to say today, is to have self-belief that December will be absolutely fine. It won't be that month that throws that giant curveball. There will be curveballs, perhaps more so than any other month so far, especially going into the tier system and things like that. Maybe things will be opened up more, maybe you'll be doing a little bit more socially, maybe. So there will be a couple of things to address. Remember to iron out your days in terms of how you want to approach the festivities, rather than going full send for the entire time. And that will become more apparent and familiar when you rewatch the Christmas video that I did a couple of weeks ago. But all I wanted to do is send each of you a big, big pat on the back, tell you to keep building those habits, using those habits, and stay disciplined in December. And then when it comes into January, we'll be ready to hit the ground running more than anybody else, okay? So have a good week. I'll come back with a different topic next week for the webinar. All I wanted to do is pretty much send each of you a big Beth Willis hug and say, keep doing what you're doing.